What's up, guys? So today on TimTube, it's going to be a little more of a serious thing. TimTube, Dissorder Music, whichever one you are channeling in on. Today I want to kind of do something I was talking about doing a while ago.
That's fucked up.
So today's episode is going to be why I am called Dissorder. We're going to go back a few years. Gonna retrace the steps. So anyways, without further ado, let's get started. Today's title, Why I'm Dissorder. What's up, guys? So I got here with me today, as you probably already know if you've been following the channel, etc. Got my girl Maria over here, got my boy David over here, and today we're going to be discussing why I'm Dissorder. What made me? What brought all this about? And I know I've been telling you guys for a while I was going to dig into this story, so let's get to it. So, in May of 2015, May 8th, I'll never forget that day as long as I live, I acquired a disorder that I didn't even know that I had. What it was, in fact, most physicians, etc., they don't even know. But basically what happened to me was so shell-shocking that it changed my life forever. I will never be the same. So I basically was getting booted out of where I was. No explanation at the time. I dealt with a lot of, shitty situations before. So I was like, okay, just another problem, it's gonna be solved, etc. But I had no idea what was about to come, because my subconscious could not handle it, apparently. And I remember that the day that I moved out, I had this sensation, this feeling of like major depression. I'm used to depression. I'm sure a lot of us are, but this was like doom and gloom. It was very, very powerful over me, and hopelessness. And well, I ended up getting help from a coworker. Moved all my stuff out of town where they're at, her family, and from there, me and my roommate, we're way out of town, and I worked at the Plains Hotel at the time as a night auditor. I actually used to get into paranormal stuff, and it was starting to cause me a lot of problems as well mentally, so I wouldn't doubt that had something to do with this. But the next day, because I worked overnights, obviously that was the case, so trying to sleep, I got maybe half an hour of sleep, and I remember noticing something very weird, and it's a sensation I hadn't felt since, when I used to have panic attacks after smoking weed. And it was like I was staring at this chair in the room, and I saw the chair, but it was as if the chair wasn't there. Nothing around me even, in fact, felt like it was there. It felt unreal, like everything was just, I don't know, like I was in a movie or a video game or something. It was weird. Your eyes get kind of hazy. Everything's backed out. It's like binging on caffeine for too long, but it's like 10 times worse than that. After not sleeping for days and then binging on caffeine. Well, from there it only got worse, and I started having these weird thoughts and questioning reality, because when you're stuck in this, it's actually called depersonalization derealization disorder. It's a dissociative disorder that has no known treatment, no known medication for this, unlike all the other dissociative disorders that are out there. This is its own unique thing, and anybody can get this, but it is very rare for it to happen. I had no idea what was happening. Well, it got to a point where I started wondering and thinking. One day I remember I'm at work at the hotel, and I'm like, am I real? Am I even real? Is any of this real? And I'm like, well, I think, so therefore I am, right? It's got to be a plus, right? Maybe my body isn't. It's like the Matrix or something. You think some weird things when you're in this mind state. And it may sound crazy to you guys, but this was so real to me. So real, but yet unreal. So then, the next thought came into my head. Well, if I'm real, is anybody else real? And that's where it hit me. I'm the type of person that if I have a problem, I try to think logically about everything. I'm an overthinker. That's probably why I get into music and do these videos, because I'm a creative person. Most creative people have that aspect about them. They usually have some kind of weird disorder, something going on. But it's also that part of our brain that enables us to unlock things that we can bring to the world. But I'm going to tell you right now, the thought about people being real or not scared the ever-living shit out of me. And I tried to rationalize it and logically figure it out, like I said, in my head over and over, and I couldn't. And the more and more I would push and push and push, it wouldn't work. I tried everything I could to get rid of this. And I even went to the nearest, mental health facility and tried to get people to talk to me. They didn't even know what this disorder was. Are you kidding me? Dr. Google was like my best friend. And yeah, so I got to a point I didn't know what else to do. I was drinking. I mean, I still drink, but I was drinking excessively. It was the only thing that would shut it out and numb it. And I remember, this is where it starts to really pick up. It got to a point now, I remember, where me and my roommate had left our coworker's place, got into our other place with this other guy. Well, all three of us were roommates, him and his lady, whatever. A lot of drama with that. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. Well, anyways, I was in the kitchen and we were just getting loaded, and I started losing it. And I started crying, all this crazy shit, and I don't even remember everything I said. And I remember I went outside, I took my .40 caliber, and I put it to my head. And I had my buddy Kevin. He was sitting there next to me. And Kevin, thank you to this day. I gotta have respect for you for that, man. I'll never forget this. And I am again sorry for this, but he saw what I was doing. He was sitting right next to me on the back porch, and he grabbed the pistol, pulled it away. And I followed him in there, and I don't remember much of that night, but what I do remember is my first thought was, you just took my only out. You just took my escape from this hell. And Kevin's a bigger guy. You guys, if you've seen all the videos, you've seen him once. He was the guy holding the camera most of the time. But I picked him up by his throat and choke slammed him and proceeded to try to kill him. Apparently I said some crazy shit too that I don't even remember. But I had never in my life snapped like that. I was always the man of reason, always the one that would give people advice, always that guy. But because of that, no one knew how to help me. And my actual roommate, the one I came in there with, he pulled me off of him. And I remember taking a butcher knife, going up my forehead, and luckily it was dull. I only had a mark on my forehead for like 3 months or so. So, and any of you guys doubting, I am nowhere at this level. This is what I'm leading into. I still have this disorder, but never have I ever been like that, nor will I be again. But I started thinking, and I'm like, this is crazy. I have to find another way to fix this. There has to be something. And I remembered that I used to do poetry when I was in high school, and people told me that it was so good I should send it to like Hallmark and stuff. And I was like, that's cool. I decided, why don't I just take my thoughts and put it on paper? And I started listening to YouTube beats before I ever learned how to make beats or learned how to sing or anything. I just started rhyming to the beat and putting all my thoughts. And before long, I started noticing a change. I started noticing my symptoms started to leave. And about this time, I did finally stumble upon what disorder I had. and no one could understand me, but no, it's okay. Most people can't understand another person's mind, even if it's explained. It's human nature. I'm sure we can all agree on this. But the important part of it is, music literally saved my life. Had it not been going through all of this for what went on and continued to go on after for quite a while, but simmered down a lot for, I would say, a year and a half, leading up to that only 2-3 months, I'd have never been doing what I'm doing. My music wouldn't have reached people that it has, and I'm not that big, but with what I've already done, and even in shows, etc., you know, I've been able to reach people. I've been able to have people relate and vent and tell me their stories, and it's such a wonderful thing to see people's reactions and then hear what they have to say to it, because, man, this is crazy. So I decided, I just got more into it. I put my overworking mind into this kind of stuff, into music and now skits, etc. So now I go by Disorder Music. I have the slogan "Breaking the Trend" because I break the trend of, well, all the other genres out there outside of a couple. I don't like the new age stuff. So for that, I have 2 S's. Disorder. Dis the order of the current world we live in. Go against the trend, break the trend, tip the damn boat over, however you want to put it. But that is the short summary of why I am Disorder, and I hope that you all can still understand, at least somewhat, a little more now, and that you come to respect me more. Hopefully you haven't lost respect, but I'm always a straight up person. I always say that in real life. I say that in my music. Anyhow, this has been Why I'm Disorder. Tim on Tim2. Thank you guys. Love you all so much. And I'm signing out. Peace.
Thanks for watching. As always, link is below to this song. This particular beat was made by jreeve.com. Also, check out my song Disorder, which explains, well, my disorder.